Hello, winners, and welcome to Two for the Win with your hosts, Nick and Will. NFL season is upon us, and we have our predictions. But before we get into it, please be sure to share, subscribe, and follow Two for the Win on your favorite platform. And shout out to Hard Rock Bet for sponsoring today's episode. So we talked about the divisions for the AFC and the NFC in previous episodes. So today we're going to chat about who's our AFC title game picks, who's our NFC title game picks, who's our Super Bowl matchup and winner, NFL MVP, Offensive Player of the Year, Defensive Player of the Year, Comeback Player of the Year, and Rookie. How do we fit this all in 30 minutes or less, you ask? Stay tuned and you shall hear it. So happy Friday, friend.
Happy Friday, Will of the Winners.
Woo, here it is. So, I know, right here, just a few days away. So now we have to put our money where our mouth is, and then we'll have to start with our upset picks.
Yeah. Oh, my God. I cannot wait. You're not going to win as easily this year.
Oh, I know. There's just the historical return to the mean type of thing. But, we actually talked a little bit before this episode. Usually we just kind of, what do you want to talk about? We talk. This one took a little bit of thought because I think that's the beauty of the NFL. Every year is so different. You just don't know. But what are your thoughts heading into this season before we get into our picks?
Well, every year I say the same thing, but I think this year will be phenomenal. I think I have such a high hope for a great season for a lot of players and teams that I follow, that I like. And I do believe that we will be very surprised this year. When we were talking, and definitely about the NFC, it was so hard to pick the teams. And so, yeah, it's gonna be, you're gonna laugh or like this, but I have a very surprise pick for the NFC. That's for sure.
Yes, you do. So would you like to start there?
No?
Start
wherever you want to start.
Yeah, let's start the NFC. Yeah, we might as well get this out of the way.
Okay. Well, for the NFC title game, I have the Los Angeles Rams versus the Dallas Cowboys. And serious. I mean, I'm very, very, very partial usually. But this year I was looking and I cannot pick a team. And
for the NFC.
For the NFC.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't believe the Eagles can repeat in the NFC. I think that everything went their way last year, and I think they just digressed. They didn't improve. So I believe they're gonna collapse at some point. Washington, everybody talk about them, but the second year quarterback, we have a lot of like data. We show that it's gonna be a regression. Still, McLaurin, hang in the air. I think that it's gonna be back to earth. They won some game, very, very in between game last year that I think they may go the opposite direction. The Rams, it's all about, Stafford. Like, is he going to be healthy with his back? I doubt he can stay 17 weeks healthy, but I would even rest him until the bye. I look at the calendar. They have 7 games before the bye. They can go, I think, 3-4 with porn star Jimmy or with Stanton, who played fantastic in the preseason. I think they can go 3-4. Their calendar, their schedule is not crazy. So I would pick 3-4 there, and then after the bye, Stafford comes in 10 games before the playoffs, and that's what I would hope. But I do believe they have everything to be very strong, offensively, defensively, the lines. I believe in LA Rams. So, and we're going to be there in December. So I want them to be good as well at that level. Yeah. And the Cowboys, again, I mean, I'm not saying they are great by any means. I think defensively on the safety side and on the cornerback side, I do believe that they will be strong. I do believe that running both offensively and defensively to stop the run will be an issue. So a lot of things needs to be, going our way. I would not put money on that. So absolutely not. Last year, I had the Cowboys not making the playoffs. But this year, I think they will make the playoff. I said, and then once in the playoff, anything is possible. But it's a very, very long shot. But I don't see any other team taking the lead. So I was literally looking team by team. And I know your division is the division that I struggle. I'm high on Minnesota, but I don't see them going. Packers, I don't see them neither. And I'm like struggling. Detroit, I mentioned already, I think that they're going to drop. So San Francisco, I mean, it's all about McCaffrey's health this next year. He needs to be the McCaffrey from 2-3 years ago to have a chance. So there is a lot of teams that I'm not sure about. And that's literally why I picked those two teams. And yes, it's a homer pick. I will not put money onto this, but I do believe there is literally a shot for that to happen. But that's my pick. So you can lie 41.
No, I felt more like I was holding the throw up in my mouth, so I didn't let it go. But there you have it. Rams, Cowboys. I will say, I will give you this. There's not a lot of people, I think, that are picking Rams, Cowboys. So you might even want to put a few dollars just in case. You'd probably make a killing on that one. All right. So Rams, Cowboys. I am going with Philadelphia versus the Packers. I do think I'll justify my Packers pick in a bit. Philly, defending Super Bowl champions. Yeah, they're not quite as strong as they were last year on the line, but last year their lines were dominant and they destroyed Kansas City in the Super Bowl. I don't see them falling off a cliff. Do I think they go back to the Super Bowl? No, I do not, but we'll save that for a minute. But I do think Philly is still strong. And I'm a huge fan of their GM. Anytime I see Philly make a trade, like if he called me, if I was the GM of the Packers, and he called me, I would immediately hang up the phone. Like this guy, he fleeces everybody in a deal. I think Philly's going to be there, but I don't think they make it back to the Super Bowl. Green Bay, I think Golden is going to put up a massive rookie year. The stuff that's coming out of training camp, you don't hear often, especially from Green Bay. Usually our rookies are that fantastic. I think he could have a Randy Moss like rookie impact on the Packers offense. You put him. I think the Packers trade one of their receivers yet.
That's Watson.
I don't know. He might be coming back. He's ahead of schedule. I would trade Dobbs personally. I would trade Dobbs, keep Watson. I think they trade a running back or trade a wide receiver. Their weak spots are depth at running back and corner. So if they could trade one of those wideouts for something like I would do it in a heart. I think Golden is going to crush it. I think Jacobs is going to be strong. Their tight ends. I think you're going to see a lot of 2 tight end sets with Green Bay this year because both tight ends are healthy now. I think their offense is going to be a juggernaut, and I think their defense, Edgerrin Cooper. I know you don't like the Aggies, Texas A&M. This guy as linebacker is going to be something special. I think their D-line is healthier. And their defense was good last year. I think the Packers, if there is an Achilles heel, it's their secondary. So if they don't get the pressure on the quarterback, I could easily see them being bounced in the wild card. But if their D-line gets pressure, I think it makes up for a little bit of question marks on the back end. And Matt LaFleur is a creative offensive mind. So I'm going with the Packers as my homer pick. So we both went homer and NFC.
I have to say, I agree. I mean, it's totally possible. It's more plausible than mine. I agree. I just think that Philadelphia, the line will be a huge difference. And that's where I don't bank on them. But I do believe they're going to be in the playoffs and they will be relevant. And the Packers, the reason why I don't go that road is not because of you, but because I don't believe that the quarterback is a quarterback to go that far. I don't believe that Love is the quarterback, and so that's my reserve. The rest, you are correct. I love your tight end. I love Golden, of course, one month guy. And defensively, yeah, you lose Zaire. I think that's gonna be. You don't have really a replacement for that, but the line, I agree. Your lines are strong, so. if you had another quarterback, I would probably be higher on the Packers. But that's my take. But it's totally feasible what you said, more than mine.
Yeah, we'll see. Well, that's the beauty of this. We will find out in a matter of 4 or 5 months.
Yeah.
All right. AFC. Gosh, this was tough for me. I went back and forth. A little different reason, though. In the NFC, there's so many like very good teams, but no dominant team. So it's hard to pick. AFC, I think there's a few really
Yeah,
good teams.
I agree.
It's just a matter of who do you think comes out of it. So go ahead.
Yeah. So I have as first the Bills, Buffalo Bills. I do believe they are extremely strong. And a stat that I saw earlier that I was like, ooh. So they have the 86% of their player returning from last year. So that was pretty outstanding. I mean, that's great. And I know the Packers are very high on that list as well. And it's important because last year they were again very close, but I think that Josh Allen now is totally in his prime. I still like their scheme. They re-signed Moss at the running back position. Is Moss right? Yeah, I think it's Moss. At the running back position. I like what they're doing. I like the use that they bring up from the draft. I think I'm very high on Buffalo. I was high last year on them, and they were extremely close. And now this year, I think
Cook was
sorry,
right.
but not Moss. Yeah. But yeah, I'm very high on them returning. But, I will say my pick for the Super Bowl, but I think they will be the team, last team standing on the AFC side. And then the second pick, it's again, I could have gone different ways. I wanted to go Bengals, but I think their defense, it's as bad as their offense is great. I think that's the best way to feel.
Yeah.
I want Burrow to go. Burrow against Allen, I think would be like all-time great. But I think defensively, I don't know, unless they make some trade or they click on certain level, but I don't see it. So I went the LA Chargers. And I know it's another weird pick. I have two LA team in the conference final, but this is the year, like I keep mentioning, or Herbert is gonna, succeed, or Herbert is gonna drop in a lot of people's mind. And like you, I really like Harbaugh as a coach, not as a person, but as a coach. I think he did everything right. I know the left tackle being hurt for the season, it's going to be a problem. But the good thing is that it happens during the preseason, so they can really shape everything and do the right change necessary. Health is always, for every team, it's going to be a paramount. But if, it's a big if they stay healthy, I do believe they have every single piece to beat anyone. And so that's, again, a very, very difficult pick. And I acknowledge that, but that's my pick.
Yeah, my picks, one's with the head, one's with the heart. So I would love to see a Buffalo Bengals AFC Championship. That would be must-see TV just for offensive.
Go over.
But I did not go Buffalo Bengals. In fact, I did not pick either one in the title game. And I think part of it is because of seeding. So when I think about seeding, I think Baltimore is not going to be the number one seed because of Cincinnati. I think that, that will keep them enough losses. Pittsburgh maybe wins one, right? So when I'm thinking about seeding, I think the Bills could be the number one seed, but I think I could see a team go into Buffalo and win, because I'm not sold totally on Buffalo's defense. I think they're good. I don't know. Can you count on them at the end of a drive to stop the other team? Because Josh Allen, if he's got the ball last, he will score.
Mm-hmm.
It's just the flip side. If the other team's quarterback has the ball last, does Buffalo's defense have it in them? Baltimore is a complete team. Harbaugh is a great coach. And I'm going a little nostalgia, so I want to do a little memory lane with you. When Baltimore last won the Super Bowl, it was the battle of the brothers. It was Harbaugh against Harbaugh. Mm-hmm. The lights went out. There was a 30-minute delay in the Super Bowl. True. And the 49ers were up. Jim Harbaugh coached the 49ers at the time at halftime, but Baltimore came back and won. I am predicting a AFC title rematch, brother versus brother. I'm going Baltimore against the Chargers, Harbaugh against Harbaugh, and I think the older brother gets the better of his younger brother again. I think John Harbaugh in Baltimore. Lamar Jackson, you talked about Herbert, and I agree. I'll talk about the Chargers in a second. If Lamar Jackson does not at least go to a Super Bowl this year, he becomes this generation's Dan Marino. But even Dan Marino made a Super Bowl. I mean, but for all the personal accolades he's gotten, this has got to be it. Derrick Henry, this is probably your last apex year of Derrick Henry. Father Time eventually is going to catch up with this brother. Like, I love him.
Mm-hmm.
He's massive. But this is if you do not do it this year, I don't know what you can expect from Baltimore. You almost have to go rebuild. Like, what else could you do? Right.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going Baltimore. I think the Chargers, again, Jim Harbaugh, I love the way he coaches. You mentioned the left tackle. So you know who's taking the left tackle spot? Only the top 5 pick in the draft 2 years ago. So they'll be fine on the blind side. You have your weaker tackle at the right tackle anyway for a right-handed quarterback. I like the fact they kept Khalil Mack and they got him. It would put pressure. And when you think about seeding, I think you put the Chargers in Buffalo, they could travel well because of the way they played football. If you have the Chargers and Bengals in that matchup, the Bengals can't stop anybody. Yeah. So I think it comes down to matchup. I would love to see Buffalo and Bengals, but I will go on record, Baltimore versus Chargers. So
that would be good. And just to go nostalgic a little bit, you mentioned that last time the Baltimore Ravens were in the Super Bowl and won was Ray Lewis and the other defensive end. What was Ed Reed?
Oh yeah, the safety.
That was phenomenal. And that was the last year I watched the Super Bowl in Belgium before moving to the US. That was I remember because I made a trip in US to visit different campus, basketball campus, because my goal was to become an assistant coach in the NCAA. Anyway, so I was remember I was in Houston, Texas, when they played their wild card game.
Okay.
And I ended up in a bar that I had no idea. So I was just picking a bar, and that was a Baltimore Ravens bar. And I got in and I just was all about Baltimore. And if you remember, they were the last pick of the last team of the playoff in the AFC. So they had to win every game away from home, and they did it, and they won the Super Bowl. So I was in there with all Baltimore fans, and I was like, oh, I love this country even more now. And I came back home and I was watching the playoffs and the Super Bowl, rooting for the Ravens. So I remember this time very well. So that's a bit nostalgic.
Yeah, and one last thing on history row with that, their quarterback who won that Super Bowl, Joe Flacco's week 1 starter for the Browns, or arch rival.
This is the beauty of sport.
I know. All right, so Super Bowl, who do you have?
So who do I have? I have the Buffalo Bills against the Los Angeles Rams.
Ooh, all right.
So both team needs to be healthy, okay? But if they are healthy for the Super Bowl, oh my Lord, that would be phenomenal. Stafford against, like all the things that you can say. Stafford against Josh Allen. You have those offenses that are very typical. You have Nakua, you have to have Devante Adams there, and then you have the package in the Buffalo Bills have. I mean, it would be like phenomenal, very offensively strong, even though their defense are not bad, both of them, but defensively, that's going to be a showtime between LA and Buffalo. So that's my Super Bowl pick.
All right. And are we doing winners?
I pick Buffalo to win. I think Buffalo, that's their year. If they don't do it this year, I don't know what's needed. But I hope Josh Allen get that title. He got the MVP last year, well deserved. And this year, I go for him winning the Super Bowl and winning the MVP Super Bowl. And McVay is a hard guy to plan against. So I think it would be very, very competitive game, not like the last one. And yeah, so we'll see what's going to happen, but that's what I have.
All right. Nick has Buffalo versus the Rams, Buffalo winning, and Josh Allen getting his first Lombardi trophy.
Mm-hmm.
I am going with Baltimore. I already talked about, I believe John beats Jim in the Battle of the Brothers again, V2. And I think the Packers take Philly. I think if the Packers make it to the NFC Championship game, they win. I think they can do it. Again, for all the reasons I said before, but I am not picking the Packers to win that matchup. I hope this doesn't happen, but I think Baltimore wins the Super Bowl. We both have first-time Super Bowl winning quarterbacks. You have Josh Allen. I'm taking Lamar Jackson. I think if Baltimore, I think Baltimore is just a matchup nightmare for defenses because you got Derrick Henry. Okay, you stop him. Lamar Jackson can run the ball. Oh, you stop the running game completely. They can still throw it. And they have a great tight end. And they have speedy wideouts. And then their defense is solid. And they added Jair Alexander.
Against his own team.
I know it. If he's healthy, he shuts out half the field. It just creates matchup nightmares. And I think I will say this between your picks. So you have Buffalo, I have Baltimore. I think if neither team, if one of those two teams, Buffalo or Baltimore, doesn't make at least the AFC Championship game, I think you see a head coach change. I think you can hear the narrative that John Harbaugh, I think it's less likely for John, but Buffalo, Sean McDermott, like, do you see Sean McDermott as a Super Bowl winning head coach? That's what you're picking. Yeah. And I think there's questions on him.
No, I mean, if he doesn't do it this year.
If he doesn't go to the AFC title game, I think Buffalo has to at least make the AFC title game for him to keep his job. But I hope I'm wrong, but I have Baltimore beating the Packers in the Super Bowl, which would actually be worse than the Packers not making the Super Bowl.
I can tell you that if it's the Super Bowl, I would be rooting for your Packers because don't want Baltimore with this, with this team. I mean, winning. I don't like Zaire at all. He's a great player, but his attitude and stuff I can't stand. I'm not a fan of Lamar Jackson at all. Again, I just don't. I would be happy for Henry, I guess, because I like King Henry, but I would be rooting for your team if it's that Super Bowl.
I'll take it. We'll need it. We will need it in that matchup because
we need to go watch the Super Bowl live.
Oh, if the Packers are in it? Oh, yeah. Maybe then we'll get a media test.
Even if the Cowboys are in. We both need to make the Super Bowl for the Cowboys.
No, I tell you what, I will commit to that. If the Cowboys make the Super, I'll buy your Super Bowl ticket. All right, here we go. And offensively, they'll be fine. NFL MVP. We can go through these pretty quick. Who's your NFL MVP?
I have Burrow, Joe Burrow as an MVP. I believe that if the Bengals make the playoffs, Burrow, Chase, Higgins will have a monster year, and the other Chase Brown. I think they will have a monster year offensively. And last year, there was some talk, even though they didn't make the playoff, he got some votes.
Yeah.
So I think that if they make the playoff, I would give it to Burrow. It's very hard to repeat, and I don't want to see Lamar Jackson again, another MVP. I just hope it's Burrow.
I am going Josh Allen with the repeat because I think Buffalo will be the number one seed, even though I don't have them going to the Super Bowl. I have them.
You don't have on the.
But remember, when that voting is done, it's done after the regular season. Yeah. I think Josh Allen repeats. If you take Josh Allen off that team, they're not even a playoff team, and that's always my thing. Like at least with Baltimore, like they're solid. They're like Philly. They're solid. So you could. There's a lot of quarterbacks you could swap out. Josh Allen, the way he runs in that weather, all that stuff, I think he repeats. Mm-hmm. All right, NFL Offensive Player of the Year. I like yours a lot more than mine, so you lead this one.
Well, if I have Burrow winning the MVP, I need to have Chase, his wide receiver winning the Offensive Player of the Year. So that's my pick.
I think based on what Nick is saying, go to Hard Rock Bet. Every game for the Bengals, pick the Bengals point over. Yeah, on that one. I am going to go a really weird pick. I really struggle with this, but I really like this guy. And he was set a rookie record last year for tight end with catches. I'm going Brock Bowers. Just somebody, I think the Raiders have a chance to be sneaky good. And I think with Genty and Bowers, I think they could surprise some people. So I'll just go
I
a
do
total
agree that I think
outside pick.
the Raiders will be way better than people think. I think it's a crazy pick. Did
Yeah.
a tight end ever won an offensive player? Maybe Gonzalez won, but I'm not even sure if Kelsey won
Well, who
one.
was the tight end for Chargers back in the day who always scored like a boatload of touchdowns?
Yates.
Yeah, Gates, Antonio Gates.
Anthony Yates.
Did he ever win
I
offensive?
don't think he did. And I don't even think like Gronk won. I mean, it's very hard for a tight end. But hey, if you win, kudos to you.
I'm going to put $10 on it because it's got to be like 3,000 odds. So maybe I'll make some money that way. All right. NFL Defensive Player of the Year. We both agree.
Yeah. We Hutchinson. I think that last year was on pace to win, and then before this gruesome injury, he seems to be completely ready. When we look at the preseason, the way that he talked on the interview, and they show some practice drill that he's going full speed. I think the only thing is mentally. Is he going to be going all in when he's actually playing on the field against opponent? But I do believe he's the kind of guy that has that mindset. So I think happy Hutchinson, and you too.
Yeah, I agree. I think Hutchinson, for all the reasons you said, he is a special player. NFL Comeback Player of the Year. So you got a dual award winner with
Hutchinson.
And I just went slightly different. I went McCaffrey from San Francisco.
I like your pick better than mine. Mm-hmm.
We shall see. All right. This is an interesting one. NFL Rookie of the Year. There's a lot of potential with these rookies. Golden, I was so close to picking Golden. I probably should have went Golden for this instead of the Packers for the Super Bowl, but I did not. But let's go with yours. You have NFL Rookie of the Year is
Macmillan. I believe Vince Young will be way better this year.
Bryce Young.
Bryce Young. Bryce Young. I wish Vince Young. Bryce Young. Well, if he plays like the last 6 games last year, I think that is going to be really, really good. McMillan is special offensive wide receiver. Sorry. So I did pick him, but I like yours a lot.
So I think McMillan is going to be really good too, and I think that's going to be a combination to watch in years to come with the quarterback and wide receiver there. I am going Ashton Genty. For as much as you talked about him at Boise State last year, I get a feeling I'm going to be talking about him a lot this year on the Raiders.
I hope so.
I liked his running. I think he'll be able to catch some. I think of Marshawn Lynch with Pete Carroll in Seattle, and maybe I'm doing the bias of connecting past things and projecting here, but I really like this fit. I like the way Carroll likes to play football, and I like Genty's attitude. Like, he is looking to make a statement. I'm going Ashton Genty. So I have Brock Bowers as NFL Offensive Player of the Year for the Raiders. Ashton Genty as the Rookie of the Year. So I'm going to be taking overs on the Raiders, I think, for offense, just like you're doing it for the Bengals.
I think that if those 2 picks happen, the Raiders are in the playoffs.
Yeah. Well, just the flip side, we got a few minutes left. We've been on the record before. So I think Kansas City's in. I don't know if they make the playoffs. And it's not to be a KC hater. You just see the history of the Super Bowl losing teams. I think they're going to be down. And I think the Patriots are going to be better. So you have to, for teams who might make the playoffs, there has to be teams who made the playoffs last year that don't do it. I could see the Raiders sneaking in. Raiders and Chargers. Man, could you imagine if the Raiders and Chargers made the playoffs and Kansas City didn't? That would be something. But what are some of your thoughts about surprise teams? Either way,
I think also the Raiders have a big shot, I think, to do something great. I'm not sure the playoff, but I think they will be better than their records, like our sponsor is actually showing. I believe a few teams would be better. Like we mentioned, both the Patriots.
Mm-hmm.
I think Seattle. I know I'm high on Darnold, but I think Seattle will be way better as well. So we'll see. Arizona. I was on tape saying that Arizona would be better. I agree. Kansas City, I think, will be worse. I don't believe Pittsburgh are making it. So that's another team that I don't believe will make the playoffs. So yeah, Tampa Bay, I don't believe they will make it. The reason is I believe that only one team from the division will come out, and I think it's going to be Atlanta. So yeah, I already mentioned here some teams that I don't believe will make it, and some teams that have potential to go out.
Any bold prediction in terms of an NFL head coach you expect to get fired that maybe isn't somebody you would think would get fired?
Oh, that's you throw me something here. I'm gonna say, I don't know if he's gonna be fired, but I think it's his last year in that team.
That's fair. Yeah, last year.
Tomlin. Pittsburgh. I have Tomlin, like literally, if Tomlin doesn't make the playoff or he doesn't make the 50, the 500 like he's doing for all his career, I think it's over. And I think it's better for both. It's better for the team, new voice, and good for him. And he would have plenty of opportunity to go somewhere. Cowboys. So that's definitely a pick that a coach that I have my eyes on for.
I was going to say that as my number 2. I think Tomlin's done after this year. My number 1, and I mentioned it earlier, I think McDermott.
I cannot say that because
no, I know, but I think if they don't make the AFC title game, I think McDermott is done for the same reason. And couldn't you see Tomlin go to Buffalo? That would be interesting.
Oh yeah, I would love that
because you got the Cowboys in the Super Bowl, so that means you're keeping your head coach.
Yeah, but I don't have them in the Super Bowl. I do have them in Super Bowl. No, I don't have them in the Super Bowl. I have them in the NFC.
Oh, that's right. You're the Rams. I'm sorry, but if they make the NFC Championship,
of course. But like I said, I'm not very high on my pick. I just don't know who to pick literally because I think every team have positive and negative to say. So let's go with the surprise pick.
Yeah, I agree. I like it. Hey, going on a limb, nothing's safe. No. I like the courage. Courage trumps all. All right, so upset picks. And while we do upset picks for those who are new to the show, is we pick a underdog to win outright against the money line. And then we track it throughout the year and see who finishes with the best record. So I had the good fortune of winning last year, most correct upset picks. But I am being a gentleman and allowing my co-host to have first dibs on the pick to go this way. So he will pick one game, I will pick the next 2, and then he'll pick the 4th one. So we make 2 picks every week. So, my friend, you have the honors.
Right.
Who's your number 1 upset pick for Week 1 NFL?
So at this time of the recording, with our sponsor Hard Rock Picks, looking at the games, a Sunday game, we can only pick Friday and Sunday, of course. So the first pick will be the Chargers in Brazil. I have them winning against the Eagles. They are underdog. The Chiefs, sorry. They are underdog, but I have them beating Patrick Mahomes and Kelsey and the team. So that's my pick number 1.
I love that pick. I think you're going to start off 1-0 right there. All right, my next 2, I'll be pretty quick because I know we're getting close on time. 49ers at the Seahawks. 49ers are favored by 1.5. I think Seattle wins. I am not high on the 49ers as some are. So give me Seattle. And the second one was the Buccaneers at the Falcons. They're playing at Atlanta. Tampa Bay is favored by 2.5. Falcons, one of those teams that always tease you. You think they're going to be good and they fall flat on their face, but I'm taking the Falcons. Give me the Falcons with the upset win at Tampa Bay.
I would have those 2 picks as well.
Yeah.
Good job. And then my second and last pick is the Dolphins winning in Indianapolis. They are underdog, and I have them winning there. Why? Because it's going to be more than 50 degrees.
That's true. And for our Southwest Florida Dolphin fans, Nick says fins up.
Fins up. Exactly.
There you have it, winners. So there's our NFC predictions and our Week 1 upset picks. If you agree with us or you disagree, either way, put your money where your mouth is at Hard Rock Bet, who sponsored today's episode. Thank you for that. And that'll wrap up this edition of Fanatic Friday. So please be sure to subscribe, share, and follow 2 for the win on your favorite platform. We'll follow up next week, see how we did. Take care, winners.